The secret had been buried for years deep, silent, corrosive. But secrets don't stay buried forever. And this one, the one Sheila Carter stumbled upon by pure accident, would shatter lives across Los Angeles. It started in the basement of Memorial Hospital, where a forgotten archive of physical records remained documents no one had digitized, sealed behind years of bureaucracy. Sheila, slipping past hospital protocols for reasons only she knew, found herself rifling through old patient files while following a different lead. But what she discovered had nothing to do with her original plan. There it was, a sealed envelope marked confidential. Poppy Nozawa's name on the tab. Inside, a DNA test result from over 2 decades ago. Sheila froze as she read it. Twice. 3 times. Then she smiled. The kind of smile that didn't reach the eyes. Finn was not Luna's father. The implications were nuclear. Poppy had faked the paternity results. The version Luna saw on Finn accepted was a forgery. The truth had been hidden even from Luna herself. But now Sheila held the truth in her hands, and with it, the power to destroy the fragile bond holding Steffi and Finn together. It didn't take long for the information to spread. Sheila never delivered secrets gently, let them explode. In the middle of a family dinner at the Cliff House, with Kelly upstairs and candles still flickering, she dropped a bomb like a glass of wine on white carpet. You're not her father, John. Finn stood frozen, the room silent. Steffi's fork hovered in midair. Sheila tossed the folder on the table, face unreadable. Poppy lead. That girl Lunish's not yours. This is the original report. Unaltered, Finn flipped through the documents, hands shaking. Every fiber of him wanted to scream that it was fake, a manipulation, another of Sheila's twisted mind games. But deep down, something told him otherwise. Something in Poppy's evasive behavior. Her vague answers. The way she always insisted he never questioned the past. Steffi sat stunned. Her entire world teetered on the edge. Finn's face collapsed in slow motion betrayal, confusion, pain. His identity, his past, the child he'd accepted, the woman he loved. All of it twisted into a cruel knot. He left the house that night without a word. The silence between Finn and Steffi stretched for days. No phone calls. No explanations. Steffi tried to reach him, but there were no answers. And when she went to confront Poppy, the woman was already gone. Luna claimed she didn't know where her mother had gone, but something in her eyes suggested otherwise. Something was unraveling behind them. With Finn spiraling, Steffi focused on protecting what was her daughter, her marriage, her home. But Luna was changing. The revelation about her true parentage shocking had awakened something dangerous in her. She had spent her life searching for connection, for a place to belong, and now, with the truth exposed, her grip on reality fractured further. In her mind, Finn should have been her father. That life, that family, that place beside him, and Steffi, that was hers. And Steffi. She wasn't just an obstacle now. She was the obstacle. The woman who stole the life Luna believed she deserved. Luna's behavior grew more erratic. She followed Steffi's car. She showed up at Forrester uninvited, hovering outside meetings. She began leaving cryptic notes on Finn's desk at the hospital, rumbling pages about fate, stolen love, the rightness of their bond, and Steffi's manipulation. When Finn finally returned home, he was different. Cold. Numb. Steffi tried to reach him, but he was walled off. The betrayal wasn't hers, but he projected it onto her anyway, frustrated that the only person he trusted had no answers, no comfort. "How long have you suspected?" he asked one night, his voice low. "I didn't," Steffi said, voice cracking. "I believed her, just like you did, but she fooled us both. And now I don't know what's real anymore." The fracture widened. The intimacy disappeared. Their shared laughter, their rhythm, the safe bubble they'd built around Kelly cracked open and bleeding. And Luna, watching from afar, saw her opening. She began inserting herself into Finn's life more directly, offering to help at the hospital, sending him old photos, recounting memories they never actually shared. She painted herself as the lost daughter, the one denied, and she blamed Steffi for poisoning Finn's mind against her. Finn, emotionally raw, didn't push her away quickly enough. Steffi noticed. One night, Luna showed up again, this time at the house. "I just want to talk to him," she said, standing on the front porch in the rain. Steffi blocked the doorway. "You need help, Luna. And you need to stay away." Luna's eyes darkened. "You don't get to decide who my family is. That's not your family," Steffi snapped. "That's my husband. And you were never his daughter." Luna flinched, but not with sadness, with fury. She turned and left. But Steffi knew this wasn't over. The next day, Callie's school called. Someone had been loitering near the parking lot. A woman matching Luna's description. Nothing happened, but it was enough. Steffi filed a restraining order. Finn was furious she did it without talking to him first, but Steffi didn't care. "She's unstable," she told him. "And she's targeting our family." Finn didn't argue, but he didn't agree either. Meanwhile, the hunt for Luna's real father began. With Poppy missing, there were few leads. But when Ridge brought in a private investigator, they uncovered old flight logs, rental receipts, and a trail leading back to a name, Colin Chen, a wealthy biotech executive with a past connection to Poppy during her intern years. Colin denied involvement at first, but a court-ordered test proved it. The paternity results were undeniable. Colin was Luna's biological father. But Luna didn't want Colin. She didn't even care. She wanted Finn. And if she couldn't have him, she would dismantle everything around him. She hacked Steffi's calendar, scheduled a fake meeting, then waited in the shadows outside Forrester. But when Steffi didn't show, Luna lashed out another way by going after Finn again. She showed up at his apartmento separate from Steffi and collapsed in tears, begging him to understand her, to accept her, to let her have one chance at the family she was robbed of, Finn. Overwhelmed, didn't see the danger in time. She kissed him. He pulled away instantly, horrified, but the damage was done. Steffi found out hours later from Luna herself. A message. A picture. A single line of text. "He'll come around. He just needs time." That night, Steffi packed her bags and left the house with Kelly. The marriage wasn't over, but it was hanging by a thread. Luna, watching from a distance, smiled to herself. It was working. She started showing up more, dressing like Steffi, copying her mannerisms, even designing clothes that mimicked Steffi's Forrester collections. She wasn't just obsessed anymore. She was becoming her. And Steffi knew this was no longer about family or belonging. This was war. A psychological invasion. A woman slipping so far into delusion that the lines between herself and Steffi no longer existed. The family rallied around Steffi. Ridge offered protection. Thomas returned from Paris. Even Hope, long Steffi's rival, stood by her side. They saw what was happening, and none of them underestimated it anymore. Luna had lost her mind, and Steffi was the only thing standing between her and complete collapse. The next confrontation wasn't in court. It wasn't in a boardroom. It was on the cliff, late at night. Steffi stepped out for air, sensing something. And there she was, Luna, standing near the edge, eyes wild, arms spread. "Why do you get everything?" Luna screamed. "The husband, the child, the love." "Why you?" "Because I built it," Steffi said, voice steady. "Because I fought for it. And you're not going to take it from me. I am you," Luna shrieked. "And I'm going to make the world see it." Then she lunged. The struggle was fast and brutal here, hands fury. But Luna lost her footing first, slipped, fell in leave for Steffi to catch her arm, digging her heels into the earth. "Let go," Luna screamed. But Steffi held on. "No, you don't get to die like this." Security arrived moments later. Luna was pulled back to safety, screaming, crying, clutching at her face. It was over. Luna was committed to a secure psychiatric facility. The diagnosis: identity delusion disorder, extreme trauma-linked psychosis. Finn visited her once, then never again. Steffi and Finn began to rebuild, slowly, carefully. But neither would ever forget how close they came to losing it all. And somewhere alone, behind locked doors, Luna stared at a picture of Steffi and whispered, "It's not over." The night air was dense with the crackle of tension, and in a matter of seconds, everything changed. What began as a heated confrontation at the Forrester estate ended in bloodshed. Steffi Forrester lay motionless on the cold marble floor of her own living room, a single gunshot echoing through the vast halls. Her eyes frozen open, shock etched into her final expression. Luna stood over her, breath ragged, the gun still trembling in her hand. The silence was louder than the blast. It was done. There was no taking it back. Luna didn't scream. She didn't cry. She stared at the lifeless body of the woman she had hated, envied, and ultimately blamed for stealing the life she believed was meant to be hers. Her hands were steady now. There was clarity in the aftermath. Steffi was gone, and Luna knew the world would come for her. She had to move fast. She ran. Out the back door, through the garden, over the side fence. Her car was waiting on the side street where she'd left its plates changed, VIN scratched. Within minutes, she was gone. No one even knew Steffi was dead until Kelly came downstairs. By the time LAPD issued the warrant for Luna's arrest, she was already miles away. In a coastal marina in Santa Barbara, a 300-foot luxury yacht sat quietly under the midnight sky. The Spencer Destiny, Bill Spencer's pride and joy, had been undergoing renovations, stocked and prepped for a summer launch. But Bill wasn't on board. He had been visiting his private property nearby when Luna showed up at the estate gate. Blood on her clothes, desperation in her voice. "I need your help," she said. "They're going to kill me." Bill barely had time to speak before she pulled a gun. One shot into the air. A warning. Not aimed to kill yet. The guards stood down. Luna shoved Bill into his own car and ordered him to drive to the dock. Once there, she forced him onto the yacht, locked up the crew in the storage hold, and dragged out the captain. "I need this boat on the water," she said, voice low, eyes dark and hollow. Now, the captain refused at first, until she pressed the barrel of the gun against his temple. Within the hour, Spencer Destiny cut through the black waters of the Pacific, heading west toward international waters. Luna knew what she needed: time, distance, and a safe port without extradition treaties. She had a list of countries. She had cash. She had fake IDs. But she didn't have much time. Back in Los Angeles, news of Steffi's death detonated like a bomb. Rich collapsed. Finn, utterly destroyed, was sedated after trying to storm the police station, demanding to lead the manhunt himself. Thomas flew in that night. Brooke stayed by Eric's side as the family reeled. But one name came up in every room, in every conversation: Luna. Sheila Carter was the first to connect the dots. She'd watched Luna unravel, and deep down, she had known something like this was coming. What she didn't expect was how quickly the girl had spiraled from obsession to murder to escape. Poppy, upon hearing the news, broke. Her daughter, her only child, was now a fugitive, a killer. But Sheila wasn't done yet. She showed up on Poppy's doorstep that night. "You and I hate each other," Sheila said. "But if you want to stop her before she disappears forever, we're going to have to work together." Poppy didn't hesitate. They made the call to the Department of Homeland Security's Maritime Enforcement Division. Through Sheila's back-channel contacts and Poppy's intel on Luna's possible escape routes, they put together a profile of where she might be headed. Thailand, Indonesia, Montenegro. Places with murky extradition histories or governments willing to sell silence. But Luna wasn't just running. She was in control of a multi-million-dollar vessel, hostages included, and had enough supplies to vanish into open waters for weeks. Every hour she stayed at sea, her chances of escaping justice increased. Sheila and Poppy worked alongside a special U.S. Customs and Border Protection tactical unit to track the Spencer Destiny. Infrared satellite data, eyes manipulation, marine radar, they scoured it all. Bill had installed a secondary tracker for insurance purposes, hidden in the engine room. It hadn't been found. That was their window. On board, Bill played it calm. He tried to reason with Luna, reminding her that escape wasn't freedom, that her actions couldn't be undone. But Luna was lost in her delusions. She saw herself not as a villain, but as a survivor girl backed into a corner by a family that rejected her, a society that shamed her, and a mother who lied to her. "They stole everything," she said to Bill one night, staring out at the ocean. "Now I'm taking it back. You didn't take anything," Bill said. "You destroyed a good woman. You destroyed a life. That's not power. That's cowardice." She didn't respond, but her fingers twitched around the gun. Meanwhile, the Coast Guard had picked up the ship's last known direction. Sheila and Poppy joined the command ship via helicopter. Tensions were high. The operation was labeled high risk. Luna was considered armed, emotionally volatile, and dangerous. Negotiation was the last resort. The primary objective was to stop the boat before it hit the red line 140 nautical miles offshore. After that, they would lose jurisdiction. The confrontation happened at dawn. 2 tactical vessels intercepted the Spencer Destiny just as it passed 132 nautical miles. Warning flares fired. Helicopters circled above. Through loudspeakers, the message came, "Surrender immediately. Lower your weapons. Release all hostages." Luna ran to the upper deck, firing a warning shot into the air. "No one comes closer," she screamed. "You step on this boat, I kill the captain. I kill Bill. I blow the whole thing to hell." Sheila grabbed the speaker from one of the Coast Guard agents. "Luna, it's me," she said. "Don't do this. You can't undo what happened to Steffi, but you can stop it from getting worse." There was silence. Then Luna's voice, cold and quiet. "She stole my life. I gave her 1 bullet. I still have 4. Poppy stepped up next, voice shaking but firm. "Luna, please. Baby, you're still my daughter. Come back. We'll fight everything. Together. But you have to surrender. You have to come home." "No," Luna whispered. "There's nothing left to come home to." Negotiators prepared for breach. But Sheila had one last move. She was flown in, alone, on a winch Linoriski, unsanctioned, but she insisted. When she landed on the aft deck, Luna held the gun directly on her. "You've always been crazy," Luna said. "Why do you care?" "Because I've done what you've done," Sheila said. "I've ruined lives. I've killed. And I thought I was beyond saving. But I wasn't. And you're not either." Luna's hand trembled. The gun lowered. Just an inch. That's when Poppy appeared on the main deck, flanked by agents. Luna's eyes widened. No, she raised the gun again, but this time, Bill tackled her from behind. The gun skidded across the floor. Agents swarmed in. Luna was restrained, screaming, crying, kicking. But it was over. She was taken into custody. Back in Los Angeles, the Forrester family mourned. Steffi's funeral brought the entire city to a standstill. Eric, weak but proud, spoke through tears. Thomas stood beside Hope. Ridge, broken, clutched his granddaughter's hand. Finn hollowed out delivered no eulogy. He simply placed his wedding band in the coffin before it closed. Luna was denied bail. She faces trial for first-degree murder, kidnapping, and multiple federal counts of piracy and hostage-taking. But even behind bars, she writes hundreds of pages. Letters to Finn, to Kelly, to a family she still claims as her own. Each one sealed, each one unread. Sheila and Poppy. They went their separate ways. No friendship, no peace, just a cold truce born out of necessity. But every so often, Poppy stands alone on a beach and stares westward the water where her daughter almost disappeared forever. And whispers, "It didn't have to be this way."